All right, we're back in the break, guys. Thank you for watching. We got one last best of 3 coming up today because Neeb and ShoWTimE are going to have a bit of a match. Now, we'll show you and get things caught up on the board because a couple of moves were made, but this will be the last match made today. Sorry, as I move that around there. All right, let's go back to the board. So, for those who missed the action during the break, we actually had Drogo move out to Ruins of Ceres, so he'll be chilling here as he starts to try and get back across the map. Again, you can only move once per turn, so that's what makes this a little bit tough once you get sent back to your capital. And this is how losing teams are meant to really start coming back into this situation. Then ShoWTimE's turn, he chose to attack into Neeb. So now we're going to have a bit of a fight going on just outside the capital. And if ShoWTimE can win this, he will have completely deflected all the Templar attacks, and the Tal'Darim will be safe. But right now, the way it stands, if Neeb wins, there's a chance the capital is going to get attacked next. So this is, once again, a best of 3. So we hop into Ceres Station for the first map.
Thought something was wrong. That pause.
Sorry, I was tabbing around. And...
Yeah, ShoWTimE hasn't yet to play. He's the last guy to play. Just that's how it worked out, so I was a little hesitant. Let's give him the Tal'Darim skin. It's like, yes. Yes. It's really hot. I hope that's not because, you know, downstairs is like on fire.
Yeah. It's not the brother that lives with you that's the firefighter, is it? Or
Correct.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be the last matchup for today. But like we said, guys, we ideally want this tournament to go on over like 3 to 4 different days, so 2 to 3 weeks most. We do have contingency plans for if this gets a little bit too stalled out, if it's a little bit too back and forth, but all things considered, I think day 1 and day 2 have been great. We got a couple of best of 5s, a couple of best of 3s, and some real serious map movement too. But ladies and gentlemen, spawning here in the upper left side, here's going to be the blue Protoss for the Templar, Neeb.
In the bottom right, as the red Protoss, he's ShoWTimE.
Now, an interesting question gets made in chat because I think there's a misunderstanding of the rules. And of course, ZombieArp actually has a video she recorded. It's up on YouTube. It's in the Team Liquid thread, fully explaining a lot of the rules. But for those who don't know how this works, if you're defending in the capital city, you can pick your defender, either HearthStone or ShoWTimE, hypothetically. Not both can fight. However, in the losing match, like let's say the defending team is about to lose everything, they can tag out on that last map with the other player in the capital. But they have to be in the capital. So if ShoWTimE isn't in the main city and HearthStone is, then ShoWTimE can never play a defending match. And it will all be on HearthStone to keep his tournament alive, I guess.
Yeah. I'll keep his capital alive.
Yeah. Well, it's the tournament too. I mean, if he loses that, everything's over and dead. And rip, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But anyways, as we continue on into this game, Ruins of Ceres, Ceres Station, whatever you want to refer to it as, we got cross spawns for once, which is kind of interesting. Most of these have actually been pretty much just horizontal and vertical, just through coincidence.
Yeah, the last 2 have been horizontal, so yeah, it was nice to see a little bit of difference here. So that will make it the biggest map in the map pool, I'm pretty sure. Even Dusk Towers included, as Ruins of Ceres had that title for a very long time, and the map pool for a very long time. But all new and fresh now with the new skin. Looks pretty, looks different. It's the winter version. Which I don't know why I just didn't call it Winter Ruins of Ceres, but...
Because I think Ceres Station sounds better anyways. Ruins of Ceres is... We talked about this, right? There's a lot of ruins of blank or blank ruins, and same with plateau and a lot of these overused words. I'm not saying Station's a lot better, but it does have that, what's that word? Alliteration effect that's kind of nice.
I suppose, yes. It just, for me, I don't know, I like, I feel like it's the reason everyone asks, like, what map is this? What's going on? And for me, like, looking up at the lobby, it's like the tiniest bit more annoying. So I'm being really petty.
Okay.
Anywho,
Zombie Girl being petty. What a surprise. Hey, tell me about Jaedong and some of your other Korean fans that you're just, like, super big.
do you want to get into my superficial pettiness or your pettiness?
Okay, but here's the difference, right?
But
I feel like while I am equally petty as you, I am not equally petty on stream as you.
I feel like your pettiness is just okay. This is getting stupid.
The only type of pettiness that is okay is the one you give your cat.
This is cute. I get it. It's like petting. Okay.
Moving on.
So
5 probes go
Neeb-
down. That was actually a pretty nice attack.
Yes, it was 6 actually, because I guess the scouting probe died. But Neeb not only got his probes killed, right? It's also it probably affected his scouting a little bit. So first of all, unfortunately, his probe got there very late, so it didn't get into the main base. But it's also like the chance that maybe if it was the main, it would have missed the Oracle flying by or something because he was distracted. In this case, it's so just safe to prepare against a Stargate opener that I feel like there's no reason not to have units in the main and natural. Mothership in the main, units in the natural. So it's already set up, even though he did not know it was a Stargate opener.
By the way, some out-of-game discussion going in chat that I really want to... I love, by the way, that we're having so much discussion about these sorts of things. Asking what server is this on, and like ShoWTimE is so good he could actually knock out Neeb and all this other stuff. Neeb actually has no problem playing to Europe, we've learned. Through several best of 9s and a best of 11 and many of these PvPs, Neeb playing on Europe is not an issue for him latency-wise, so these games aren't going down on Europe unless Neeb requests otherwise.
Yeah.
And I would definitely agree, ShoWTimE he hasn't had a chance to play yet. It's his first time debuting in the Civil War, and he is good enough to take on somebody like Neeb, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Now Neeb is, as we said, actually he's probably the most played character right now. Oh my god!
He especially it's like, did you not learn for the first 2 times you burned something? Neeb is actually, he's been played twice, but he was actually meant to be played 4 times almost, because Drogo had to take his place on day 1 on account of Neeb being here late. So they had swapped turn order. Since it's the first turn of the game, we didn't mind. It'll never happen again. If anyone's missing, then they'll just be counted as a no-show. But we kind of got to see Neeb a lot, but yeah, we would have seen him a lot more even had he been here sooner. But that's the kind of the downside of this too. You know all the players are going to be watching this, and they can easily study your PvP. Like, the more you get played in this doesn't necessarily mean it's an advantage because you're a good player. It means you're giving away a lot more of your builds and timings. And suddenly, well, maybe Puck and Hearthstone didn't realize it before. They start realizing Blink doesn't start until exactly 4 minutes and 12 seconds or something like that.
Yes.
Stasis Trap did buy a lot of time to delay this Nexus. As probe does get a bit stalled out there. What?
How do you burn something 3 times?
I thought you said something relevant to the game. My bad.
God. Nope, not at all. How do you get stasis trapped once? Jesus.
I was like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Like, he put a stasis trap. Get over it.
I
I keep thinking these are scans, by the way. Whatever these doodads are here, they put out this like big, flashy blue light. Hang on, wait for it. There we go.
I've seen, yeah.
And in the corner of my eye, it just looks like a scanner sweep's going down or something.
You can see that. Well, I was going to remark on just, not the stasis trap, but using the 2 oracles to their best ability, even if it's not killing probes. Really nice from ShoWTimE. Just use whatever you can. Unfortunately, they don't get to scout the push out, but he does have his zealot on that Zelnaga, and he will be able to see the majority of the army. Of course, unfortunately, not being able to find nothing here. I think that would have been ideal after seeing the army move out.
This can be a bit weird. He does have an upgrade lead going to this, but it's about to disappear as Neebs is finishing the exact perfect timing of this attack. That timing, though, oh, that's so crisp.
Yeah. Once again, Neeb just seems to be wanting to target fire the sentries. I mean, they're going to be the quickest thing to die, and as well as very important later the game goes on, into the mid-game at the very least. So, cool focus fire. Loses 1 soccer fort, almost loses 2. I was and awing because ShoWTimE is bringing out the Charge Lot Archon style of play.
Yeah, and I would and ah at that as well, because it has not proved to be too effective in most of this tournament. But Neeb's not the guy that's been doing strictly Blink Stalker Disruptor. It was Drogo and Hearthstone and everyone else, so Puck as well.
It was Drogo that tried initially to go for Charge Out Archon, and that's what went so poorly, is he went for 2 games with it, didn't do so well. He went with, I'm pretty sure it was 2 different timing attacks, but I can't recall. And then just was like, okay, that's not working, let's change it up, and he actually reversed the score by changing it up into Blink Stalker Disruptor. So we'll see if ShoWTimE is just, I don't know, better with the timings, or maybe he just has better control over it, better flow of the game, or I'm not sure, but we will see. Neeb is going for his own pretty quick Templar Archives, which is interesting. He's not getting charged, he's not going for the exact same thing, but he is getting much quicker Templar Archives than we've ever seen from anyone else. Like, usually it's a Dark Shrine maybe, or maybe they'll add on their charge, but not Archons. But here it is just Archons.
Oh, that's kind of cool. And by the way, nice username is joining us in chat. I think he's at work, so he's probably just slacking off a little bit here. Come on, man. But if you guys have questions for him, he's the one who created the mod that allowed us to do all this cool skinning. And again, reminder is, oh, these skins look so sick, but players can't see them. Players just see a normal PvP. That's what makes this really, truly unique and interesting. Stalkers over here to the right side. Archons coming out with plenty numbers behind them. This isn't like he just rushed for a couple of Archons and that's all he has to play with. Like, there's Immortals, there's Sentries, there's gonna be more Stalkers and Zealots warped in. I mean, I like ShoWTimE's army is getting up for, but he can't blink to the main with this, not the same way that Neeb can. So Neeb's gonna get up here and get on top of 2 pylons right away. Some of these gateways gonna be out of effect right off the bat.
This is all really cool use of each of their units, actually. You have the Oracles continuing to revelate on the other side of the map, but you also have Neeb with these Blink Stalkers being quite a big nuisance. I'm still paying attention more to their overall composition. Of course, Charge Lot Archon coming in here, actually showing their power.
Look what ShoWTimE's trying to do, though. Like, he's hoping that this Charge Lots alone will buy the attack in the main, and if Neeb tries to blink out, Archons and Immortals are waiting for him, so this won't even be a free escape. Now, he does find the one window of opportunity to get outside the base, and he does manage to escape with some of his Stalkers, but those were some pretty nasty losses. Good defense out of ShoWTimE. That could have gone so much worse.
That's absolutely true, but it took so long to clean it up that even though, okay, he lost a big portion of his army, he was already remaking it back at home and expanding, and everything looks still actually very good for Neeb, who still has an army supply lead, a bit of a probe lead as well. Probably should stop at 74 though. Actually, you just say 74 is like too many, but...
Are we going to get to see... I guess Neeb hasn't gone for Charge Lots. I was going to really hope we got to see Charge Lot versus Charge Lot Archon type thing.
It almost looks like a mistake, to be honest, with how many how many Zealots he's now warping in, and the fact that he did go for his own Temple Archives, but it doesn't... I mean, he still hasn't noticed if it was a mistake that these aren't charging. So we'll see. If the battle goes down and he immediately starts charge, it was a mistake. He meant to go for a similar composition. If not, then something new. But I am very interested to see how this army fight will go down. ShoWTimE's already prepared, however, and I'm not sure Neeb wants to attack into someone who's prepared. He doesn't have a huge army advantage, so yeah, just gonna back off from that.
Well, Warp Prism picks up some of these Zealots, and I guess he'll be dumping those off in the main. I mean, one cannon's not going to stop a bunch of Charge Lots, and especially if there's any Warp-ins to accompany that. But when it comes down to army supply, I mean, ShoWTimE's a little bit ahead, but you got to look at the difference from this, and it's so, I feel, inconsequential right now. Like 7 Immortals to 5, 8 Archons to 5, 20 to 15. ShoWTimE's got slightly more in every regard, but he's going to be split up in a moment. And right now, well, he's got this really awesome unkillable army in the middle of the map. The fights aren't going down in the middle of the map. They're going down here towards the 4th. They're chasing the Warp Prism up here in the north. Looks like one Zealot was unloaded to kill the Stalker. That was kind of a funny one-on-one that we missed. 7 probes already down from these Stalkers running around. And that Warp Prism hasn't even touched the main yet.
Yeah. Neeb's not warping in, though, to add to his army as he is waiting, I guess, to use it for the Warp Prism. So that could be a problem if ShoWTimE really does push in. There's the Warp-ins just now. Going back at home. A couple Archons going to be made here. But Neeb's still down 30 army supply. Could be in trouble with ShoWTimE's big attack. It might even be worth losing the probe line for it.
Maybe. I mean, ShoWTimE is, you gotta debate, like, can you base trade this? And I kind of feel like you can. There's no disruptors in this. There's no, like, one magic shot from anyone that's going to change the game. But +3 weapons and charges finishing for Neeb just on time. Once again, the timings for Neeb this game have been so sick. This is going to allow him to fight on even footing. But is it going to be even enough? Once again, ShoWTimE's got an army lead in every way, and he didn't bring any of this back home. It's all still on these front lines. Archon's starting to just get that concave. Lots of Immortals with the range behind this. This is insanity when it comes to PvP, and red versus blue at its finest.
You said that Neeb's timings were pretty spot on, but I would say ShoWTimE right here. He catches Neeb while trying to transition to disruptors. He had throw down double robo or robotic spay. He was putting a lot of money and gas into basically not army, and of course he was also harassing with a lot of that money and gas. So his army was ill-prepped for main engagements.
I love this real Phoenix just chasing down this Warp Prism. I mean, it's been on it for a while.
Yeah. Losing a 4th base like that, it's not quite game over, especially if Neeb's disruptors can change everything around.
He doesn't actually know about that upper right base, which is kind of funny. So he's not going to get the free kill on that. But now we are at that point where disruptors are in play, and that's where this becomes really crazy, because this is where you're going to start seeing those miracle hits. Maybe you get that magical like one shot that kills out all the Zealots, and suddenly your own Zealots will concave and win. I mean, there are no disruptors in play for ShoWTimE, and it doesn't feel like there's going to be anytime soon. But with brute force, an overwhelming number of units, and good tactics, I could actually see him taking a fight from Neeb.
Yeah.
Neeb's army supply still is about 30-something behind right now.
Yeah, and while he just spent a lot of money and a lot of time and an entire base to try and get into disruptors, triple disruptors actually, and that's going to be a scary amount very shortly. ShoWTimE is using his transition to go into Stargates, which
ShoWTimE.
might just be stronger.
Yeah, you can. For a lot of people forget, Phoenixes can actually lift up the disruptors, and we got to consider there's only Archons for anti-air. There's no Stalkers. There's no nothing. Like, those are gonna be fantastic. He's just waiting for them to trigger their shots so he can disable the ones that are attacking. There we go. Lifts them up. Nicely done. Takes several of those disruptor shots out of the fight. Now just surrounding with what's little left of those Archons, but more than enough to push this army back.
Yeah, that was pretty. It was not something you usually see though. Phoenix is actually being a part of this mid-game, actually late-game competition for Neeb.
Sickest swap.
GG.
ShoWTimE, what a beast. Game number 1 goes to him. But of course, as we get out of game, I'm going to also quickly take us back to the board so we can show exactly what's going on for those who have missed it. And right now, ShoWTimE is trying to break out of his capital to fight Neeb. I guess I should probably swap the portraits because ShoWTimE's coming from the right. And Neeb is defending this tile set. We're going to go to a small break, though, while Neeb figures out what map he wants for Game 2. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back soon. Don't forget, after this is done, we'll be giving away that $150 code for Yord, so make sure to enter in for a free chance to win a huge discount just by going to woodwatches.com/base. All right, we're back. Thank you guys for watching that short break as we set up the lobby for Prion Terraces, getting into game number 2 in this best of 3. Again, not a best of 5. The only maps that are best of 5 are the center tile on the board and the capital cities. But this is going back to a gold-based map. We've all seen this one many times before, and it's nothing too new and too crazy. This was also Neeb's pick as he was trying to figure out which map from the map pool he wanted to select. And for those who don't know, the map pool consists of all the maps available on the board tile set. So just trying to create a bit of a theme. But off to a great start for the Tal'Darim. In the bottom right side, it's going to be the red Protoss, ShoWTimE.
In the top left as the blue Protoss, he's Neeb.
Okay, so it's crazy to see how different these two players went in thought process for that game. But I really got to draw attention back to like that really sick Phoenix swap at the end of game 1. Like, I cannot think of many players who would think to do that in that clutch scenario, but that was such a clever move. Now, it's standard practice, and if you were opening with this in slow macro sense, like, yeah, this is nothing really to be super impressed by. But the fact that this was all like done through swaps and on the fly, that's what I appreciate out of Neeb for his skill set. See ShoWTimE do it as well. Like, these are probably the best players on each of their respective team when it comes to PvP. And it really showed in that first game.
It did really show. If you're doubting ShoWTimE's potential and you're thinking that, okay, maybe that's why he's in the back, he told everyone he wasn't too good at PvP, well then, that just proved everything you thought wrong, basically. ShoWTimE looked strong, not just with the transitions, but just all around. And it was interesting to see both of them end up going for Charge on Archon. I do believe Neeb just forgot Charge, which is quite unfortunate. That might have thrown him off the entire game. Maybe the reason he thought he had to transition into Disruptors or something. But it also could have been a reaction to seeing ShoWTimE do it. I'm not sure. Like, ShoWTimE was kind of the first guy to go for Charge on Archon against Neeb, specifically. And maybe that threw Neeb off. And now that he's like, oh, okay, he doesn't play, like, Blink Soccer every single time, he's going to be more keen to it in the second game.
So, by the way, people are asking about the TVT Civil War. So, here's the theme of things, guys, by accident, right? We had a $2,000 base trade TVT tournament on the first week of Legacy of the Void launch. It was TVT only. It was actually really fun. And it only took 3 days. This will probably take about 3 days, but spread out over a couple weeks, maybe 4 days over a couple weeks. So, technically, the next thing we would want to do would be a ZVZ, but I don't want to do a ZVZ.
Nah. So we did the TVT tournament, we did the PvP Civil War tournament, and ZVZ is every other flipping European Cup that we've done, so.
I really do think, like, the idea of trying to thematically skin units is cool, though. This is something I want to keep up for custom tournaments in the future. Obviously, weekly cups like Corsair Cup and you name it, like, we're not going to be doing this for. And quick shout out to one of our other sponsors, Corsair Hype. But I like to know that this is an option, and I really like the comfort of knowing that this doesn't affect the gameplay of the players whatsoever. Because again, I really want to stress, well, we see all these cool skins. When these two scout, they only see normal Protoss. There is no skins for them in game whatsoever.
They both went for Adepts, and we do have Neeb trying to catch ShoWTimes as opposed to just trying to trade out, I suppose. They both could have gotten like 2 probes or 0 or 1. In this case, I believe it was just the single one. Yeah. Actually, ShoWTime not stopping, and then ShoWTime going for... Ooh. I hadn't realized they both went for Stargates, and he was the one that scouted Neeb first, so he's opening up with the Phoenix, and Neeb's Oracle is just not going to do very much at all.
No, and the worst part is if this gets shut down really early, ShoWTime could then just continue to build Phoenix because there's no way for Neeb to play from behind in that sort of situation. However, if he wants to bully on the ground, the Phoenixes are limited by the energy they can spend to grab things and maybe overwhelms with an Adept all in. I mean, Spear and Terraces, you can get away with a lot.
I really like ShoWTime just putting that pylon down nice and early as well, in case Neeb suddenly just attacked with his Adepts. Because those Adepts, they would have scouted, and they also might have been able to get to the main, I suppose. So that's actually not even a guarantee with ShoWTime's probe being there. Ooh, really nice.
Very nice tonight. I love this.
And he actually didn't even need the pylon then. Like, he didn't want to overcharge because he was going to block in the main. So no scouting went down, no possibility of Neeb killing probes.
I love what he did there, too. He canceled 3 of the Adepts very much intentionally, left 1 to finish on the off chance that ShoWTime canceled immediately. That new Adept would have just walked in. So these are such clever tactics out of Neeb, but they're not getting him anywhere in the base.
Yeah, both are playing very clever games here. Now, finally, nope. Just kidding. Like, he's not letting him scout. Actually, Neeb is waiting to see if he opened up the Stargate, I think. Like, that's why his Oracle's not moving in. He really wants to know.
By the way, oh, he's going to miss it this time.
But
still not going to see it. I love that he hid the Phoenix, too. Like, he could have so easily just moved out and revealed this, but chosen very, very much intentionally to hide this.
They're both so good. Like, Neeb, I'm pretty sure was waiting to see if Phoenixes would show themselves, and his Oracle would go in, or go out, like, whatever you want, but it's actually still hiding. The Phoenixes might just be seen here. There we go, finally revealed.
I was going to say, he wants to kill them. It's not because he just wanted to reveal them. Oracle's going to come in and get driven off. Phoenixes, of course, have a really cool attack animation through Tal'Darim. They got missiles instead of lasers. Pew, pew, pew.
This was a pretty cool attack from Neeb then. Like,
well, it gets 8 kills, 9 kills.
To combo the Oracle with the Adepts and then make the Phoenixes choose, like, do we lift up all the Adepts and can't kill the Oracle? We lift up like 3 of the Adepts. I mean, that got 9 kills where if an Oracle just runs in just willy-nilly, it gets maybe 1, depending on how soon the Phoenixes catch it. So that was pretty cool for Neeb. I thought things were going to already be a disaster for him, but it's actually working out pretty well. He's up 9 probes exactly. Not 10.
The pick and choose element of that was certainly strong. Man, I'm surprised so many workers went down, but as we can see, gold base is requiring less, band-aiding those losses. It's not so bad for ShoWTime, and we can even check vision because I haven't, or the graphs because I haven't ruined it with vision yet. We can see Neeb did spike up exactly at the time of that attack.
All right, so you mentioned the Phoenixes. They can kind of snowball if it was really going to be, terrible from the start for Neeb. But in this situation, I think that taking those probe losses, realizing that Neeb knows his stuff as well, it's not going to really be this Phoenix takeover. It is just these ones, and that's not going to be too difficult to take care of. Photon Overcharge, really going to scare away 5 Phoenixes. Blink Stalkers, also going to be very careful. These Phoenixes are already a little low. And these aren't really getting the return damage.
It's still some nice map control, though, in zoning. You know that there's not going to be anything really driven out in the middle of the map. They can't really move out either because Neeb has to keep units at home. If he moves out, 1 overcharge isn't going to stop 5 Phoenix from getting kills. They'll just run in and run out.
Well, of course, the Phoenixes, it is a give and take. Yes, they have the map control, and maybe they'll get a couple of probes, and scouting is essential. It's also, that's a lot of money and gas that's taken away from advancing your tech or your immortal counter or what have you. So Neeb a little faster on the Twilight Council tech. Actually going to be going for charge right off the bat.
I said such a cool idea for a tournament. I'm sorry. I know this has nothing to do with what's currently going on. But to encompass all races, we could do like a bad guys versus good guys tournament or something, right? And you would even theme it up. You'd have like ShoWTime or sorry, not ShoWTime. You could have like Naniwa on Fire Cake on the bad guys team.
The bad guys.
Skin them like the game campaign bad guys as well, right?
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
I mean, I don't even know if people like that would accept or who would want to play with one another, but I think if you have enough prize pool and it's not going to be too crazy of a tournament, you can make something like that happen.
Probably.
Anyways, warping in. And right now, I just got to say, Neeb's defenses are pretty much on lockdown. These Phoenixes, as you pointed out, have not been getting return damage, but I would say any damage, which is what's more alarming. Scouting even somewhat minimal through them. and Neeb's playing ahead on bases. So while ShoWTimE had a really cool showing of Phoenix in that first game, he's just not getting it here in game number 2.
Well, Charge Archon for both. I don't know if there's like a switch for Neeb, depending on what his opponent does. Like, he's just kind of like a reflection in PvPs, but, you know, he's been going for Blink Stalker Disruptor every single time anyone else has, and I just figured that was something he was comfortable with. But I guess versus Charge Archon, he also wants to go Charge Archon. Even though, like, I mean, you know, we've been talking about how, like, Koreans apparently like this a lot better, and then European and Koreans have different styles. It seems that whenever a European or American, I guess in Neeb's case, would go for Charge Archon against Disruptors, the Disruptors would eventually win. But both so confident, I guess, in their skills with their respective compositions, both going for it, it's finally a different PvP.
Yeah, Charge can be finished up here in 1 second for ShoWTimE. I mean, the army supply is certainly enough to take on part of this army. I don't know if the whole one will go well. Big Warpins coming out of Neeb, though, might just change that around. Phoenix is on the other side of the map, killing a couple probes. Not enough to make up for the losses should he lose this base, though. And so far, so not good on the defense. Neeb just taking an overwhelming lead in army supply as he crushes ShoWTimE.
That is absolutely crushing. That is actually game over. That was his entire army. There's no reinforcements, the Disruptors to back up to, and there's Phoenix are gonna help. GG.
GG. That ties things up now 1-1. Can ShoWTimE finish him off, or will ShoWTimE be killed and sent back to his capital city? That's going to all be determined here in this third and final game. It'll also be the last thing we cast today, so thank you guys for watching. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the final match. All right, we're back from the break, folks. Thanks for watching that as we get into the third and final game today. Ember Towers. Okay, this is that variation of Dusk Towers. So, very normal map, but just, again, colored and tweaked and skinned and tiled a little bit different thanks to Avex. But as mentioned before, this will be the last one of the day. This times out nicely because this will be the last turn of the players. Last day when we stopped, we still had 2 player turns to go. This means when we start day 3, it will be entirely fresh and brand new.
Point.
But ladies and gentlemen, he sends out a probe very early. We'll see if this is simply for scouting or not. In the upper right side of Dusk Towers, aka Ember Towers, is going to be the Templars Neeb.
In the bottom left for the Tall Dream, he is ShoWTimE.
So you know what the opposite of the Tall Dream are?
What?
You're not gonna guess? I can say like
No.
Dalam or like Artanis or anything like that?
No. I don't pay enough attention to the lore.
Okay, I need you to set me up for this joke, okay? So I'm gonna ask it again. And this time, just pretend like you have an answer, okay? Hey, so do you know why they call them the Tal'Darim? No, hang on. Okay, do you know why they call them the Tal'Darim?
Because they're tall?
Go back to
Wait.
having a wedding. This is better when you weren't around. I can't
Wait.
set up jokes around you.
You told me to pretend I had a response.
Nope, I'm done with you.
What was I supposed to say?
You were supposed to be able to not be the equivalent of a piece of wood, all right? I'm like that kid from Ed, Ed, and Eddie with plank, and you're like, you're my plank, all right? You're just
I really don't
useless.
understand what I was supposed to say. Chat, back me up on this. What was I supposed to do?
Okay, so Neeb comes across the map with that very early scout. I was actually thinking this was going to be a proxy. He's not one to be shy of cheesing, but I guess doesn't want to risk it too much on this last game.
I don't know.
Again, thanks for the consistency here, Zombie Grove. You got me. You got me good. You're the Joker. I see what's happening here. You're the one being the real prankster. The goofy gaffer.
Oh, me. I don't know. ShoWTimE actually setting up a pylon on the very, very top left here. I mean, I would say for a Stargate, but it's almost just as far. And so, but I can't see anything else going down here, like a Robo. Why would that go down there? Maybe. Oh, Twilight Consort Dark Shrine.
Well, this is actually kind of cool. We went for the full pylon block and didn't just cancel it. So I would actually really like if this was invested in the proxy, because Neeb also pylon blocks this. So there's a bit of faux information going on. You think you've actually stopped somebody who was trying to play macro, and really they weren't at any point. They've just faked that they were trying to play macro. And oh, Zombie Grub, it is going to be a Dark Shrine.
Yeah. I don't know why it took me so long, but it was really the only thing that made sense in such a position. So that's pretty interesting. Really mixing things up. He is the one that is up one, or no, wait, no, they're 1-1. Never mind. That's it's just risky, just straight up. So if he loses this game and thus loses the best of three, that would potentially put his team in a very difficult position. Whereas if Neeb lost it, like it would suck to lose position, but you know, you're the one that got so far and didn't even matter. Why did you do that?
I didn't do anything. Why'd you time yourself out?
Of course you did.
It's so weird that you would do that. Should have put the blame on me. That's thrice this game you've tried
Why
to
are you
scumbag
acting
me.
so weird?
Why are
Are you
trying
just jealous of all the attention I'm getting? Everyone's like, "Oh, thank God, Zombie was back," and you're like, "You know what? Fuck them bitches. I'm just gonna troll the shit out of her."
Yo, I actually got a lot of compliments when you were gone, so maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
okay, buddy. I'll believe that.
What the f-
Doesn't feel so good, does it?
No, that feels terrible.
Yeah.
Why would you say something like that?
Why would you time me out?
I don't think these are the same things.
You're the one that's trolling me and being like, "You're just a plank of wood."
You're the one trolling me. That's like I ask you knock knock, and you're like, nope. I'm like, great, thanks for helping me set that up.
Exactly what you asked.
No, you didn't. Okay, Phoenix is coming over. There's another Stargate on the way. All of this leads to like bad news if he doesn't get an Oracle cranked out in time, and he should absolutely be able to get detection out for this. But right now, that first DT is warping in slowly, and it's gonna get to the base, and it's going to get probe kills.
Well, another one actually being warped in, so this one doesn't do enough. The second one certainly will.
There's-
Double Stargate's so interesting from Neeb, but just unfortunately not building anything useful from it, and that's just
Oh, it's
me.
just gonna tap out. Okay. I think he would have had time to run around. Like ShoWTimE's Nexus was so. It is what it is. GG's. ShoWTimE will take the series 2-1 and knock Neeb back to his capital city. So as we actually go back to the board game, more importantly, now the entire team of Tal'Darim have been vindicated from their capital, but the entire team of Templar have also been sent back to their main city. So I got to change the color out for this because that was actually an attack, not a defense. So ShoWTimE will actually claim that land tile as well. Boom. And I hope you guys are liking the red and the blue a little bit more than the text. I thought the text did look a little bit oogly at a glance. So just going to fit that on there. Nicely done, Rifkin. Thank you, Rifkin. All right. So this is what?
Said you're welcome. Said thank you.
Why are you doing this to me? You're still okay. We'll take a screenshot of that board game. This is where the day will end, and this is how things will conclude. So this is going to be the end of day 2, but keep in mind, the idea for this tournament is we'll be doing more than like 1 or 2 days. In fact, this tournament should go over 3 or 4, ideally closer to 4 at this current rate. But Zombie Grub, I'm reluctant to say it, but thank you for coming back and joining me on the cast. It was 99% nice to have you back.
I think called tall.
Okay,
you're welcome.
Again, you're not helping me here. You're just reading chat instead. I can't.
I was just trying to figure out what I did wrong.
We are going to do the giveaway now live for that final code with $150. We're going to restart the stream though so we can do it live. And we're going to actually stick around for a little bit afterwards and play the new I'm going to regret doing this with you now. The new co-op mission, the new mutator for the week. So stick around, guys. We're going to play some ads. We'll come back, and the stream should come up right away because it's going from a delay to being live. So you won't have to wait that awkward 3 minutes. But if you entered into the giveaway to win a $150 code for Yord, please stay around. Be back soon. Start a stream off of delay into no delay. It still bugs out a little bit. I don't know. So I'm just waiting for confirmation that the stream's actually live before we do the winner draw. Looks like we are Gucci. All right, we're back. Totally missed you in that break.
Hello.
So we have the winner of the first draw. So if you're here in chat, please speak up. Strider1995. If Strider1995 doesn't respond within about 30 seconds to a minute, we'll redraw another winner like we did last time. This is for that $150 voucher for Yord Woodwatches, woodwatches.com. But so far, I don't see anything in chat, man. It's looking good, guys. We're not gonna be waiting around forever. So if he stepped away, like he's SOL. But I'm thinking we might need another. Draw the next. We'll have this on deck, okay? He's got about 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8. He's probably like logging into Twitch right now. Like, no, wait, guys, wait. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I guess he's gone. Okay, next winner is Salienia. If SALIENIA is here, you've got about 30 seconds to a minute to type something in chat. And then we're going to go with the next person. And then we go with the next person. This is worth $150, guys. We can't dick around with this. This is going to give you like a really nice watch for pretty much free. But so far, I don't see anything from Salienia in chat. This took 4 redraws last time. Let's see if we can get it in 3. So you count down this time.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, real quick, because someone's asking, what if they're in Take TV's channel? We already instructed them to tell the Take TV viewers to come over here, but so far, no good. Shout out to Kelazur in chat, by the way. Next winner. Buy the sword. I think I saw him in chat earlier, actually. Is _the sword still here?
Buy the sword.
Buy the sword.
Buy the sword.
Buy the sword. Please, God. This is 3. Can we get it in 3? He's here!
Oh, yes.
He's here! Buy the sword! Congratulations! He says I was watching ads. Who were the first choices? It doesn't matter because they weren't here and you just mother flipping won. Congratulations, buy the sword on your $150 voucher. And yeah, you're good to go. So to explain, by the way, every time we've been doing this stream, we've been given Yord's been pretty generous in giving us these codes to give away. I'm going to show you guys really quick. Oh, there's your cat. How you're to sign up for this for the next one, okay? Because between tournaments, this thing here at the very bottom, this Twitch username part, this isn't here. All right, this is gone. The rest of it's here for you to sign up on your newsletter and for, that's only optional, of course. But most importantly, a chance for you to sign up for the $20 discount code that's going for Father's Day. We've sold 62 watches. We started the stream with 58, so we sold 4 watches during the stream. That's fucking sick. The prize pool is now over $1,500.
Ooh, yeah.
But of course, this sign-up page is all good. But even if you've already signed up once before, you just resubmit your information down here, but include your Twitch name, and that's how you get involved with the giveaways. So again, if we do more of these, if Yord is going to be generous enough to give us more to give away in the future, I hope you guys will actually get in on them. But selling 4 watches is pretty good for this stream, I think.
Yeah, that's that. People really enjoyed them. I wonder how many of those were the German stream, actually.
We could probably ask like one sales process and ask them like how many people came from
yeah.
German sales or not. But you know, I said we're gonna do mutator mode, but I actually just remembered I have to go do something early today, so I can't actually do that.
Okay,
what
that's fine.
Here?
I'll take a nap.
Tell me what's going on? Oh, is it your cat you're playing with?
Yeah.
Like 1 second, Rifkin. 1 second.
Look at the camera.
Apollo is pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie. Your cat is like, I like your cat more than my cat, and I've never met your cat. Okay. But that does wrap up today's Civil War, guys. So again, we got t-shirts for sale. These shirts actually look really friggin' sick. They were done by Nicolas Chassois, a good artist. And of course, sales for said shirts will go directly to the players. You'll make sure that Drogo's team gets more money. You'll make sure Hearthstone's team gets more money. And again, they're going to get this money win or lose for their tournament. So it's just something really cool on the side and something that will reward you guys with a really sick looking t-shirt design, to be honest. Our goal, if at best, is to sell 50 of each shirt. I don't mind if we sell less, but obviously we would love to sell as many as possible to get the players as much money as possible. So we have 22 shirts sold in total. I can actually just show you guys this stuff because as far as I'm aware, there's nothing saying I can't. So these are all approximations, by the way. Nothing here is like actually confirmed. But we have sold about 9 shirts for Drogo between the European store and the American store. A lot more for Hearthstone. 9 from the American store and 4 from the European store. This is also about how much money each shirt's going to make. Again, there's taxes and processing fees, but for the most part, this number is pretty accurate. We've done campaigns with Teespring in the past. So Drogo's team's going to get about 25 bucks so far. Hearthstone's team's getting closer to like 30 or 40, which is pretty cool. So Hearthstone has been a lot more active on tweeting and sharing about the shirts, and his team's definitely benefiting from it. But again, 50% will go to the players, 10 to 15% to processing and taxes, 25% to the artist, 10% to us. So we will still get something out of it. So you support like 4 different really awesome people at the same time. Actually, 6 because the 3 players. So yeah, thank you guys so much for enjoying the tournament today. I hope you did enjoy it. We got more stuff coming up though. Tomorrow's going to be the map contest grand finals. That's a 15 map best of 15 where all 15 maps are played no matter what. That's going to be Euthermal versus Nurchio. That starts at 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. After that, we're back with the Ting qualifiers. We got a double day on Wednesday. So June 1st, you're going to have the Korean qualifiers in the morning and the North American qualifiers in the evening. We're going to have a lot of really good games to be had over there, I'm sure. And, of course, it's just going to be single elimination. But thank you guys again for joining us for today. Quick shout-outs and round off to our other sponsors. And if you haven't seen yet, we've actually recently redone our Twitch page. It's still in the process of doing so. There's a couple of widgets missing, but I wanted to get them up there for today so they look nice. But all of our sponsor stuff's been cleaned up a little bit so you guys can more easily click instead of navigate through a sea of like broken widgets. But you can click on the Team Tal'Darim and Hearthstone shirts down here. There's the Yord thing. It'll take you to our website. This is the arcade block promotion we've been running. All this good stuff, guys. So I hope you like the way it looks. I think that pretty much finishes it off. Zombie, have any cool stories or final last words before we go?
Oh, follow me on Twitter at ZG Gaming.
Shout out to Finalius 23. Sorry, for the 23-month resub here at the very end as well. Yeah.
I guess I'll be sending out Partoofs too, so I guess get on there. You can. I'm not sure I can cover all of them though, so we're still waiting on all of those.
Yeah. So actually, here's the story with this, guys, because we're still waiting, and I'm not sure. I'm actually gonna call them in tomorrow, I think, but I sent an email request for the follow-up to the Partoofs because I still haven't got a confirmation that they're doing anything. My credit card hasn't been charged yet. I don't know what's going on with that, but we need to make more Partoofs. And the longer it takes to get this confirmation, the longer it'll take to actually get them made and then shipped. And I just basically don't want us to be sitting here for like 3 months with no Partoofs to hand out. So we're trying to get that sorted. Some people are going to get their Partoofs, but a lot of you guys are unfortunately going to be on wait for a little bit. But hopefully it shouldn't take too long. But I want to make them... They're going to look just like the current one, except we're going to add like a little 2016 to it to give a bit of a nod to version 2, I guess, if you will. But cool. That actually does wrap it up. So again, Corsair, G2A, Yord, Chairs for Gaming, you guys know the deal. In fact, all the sponsors are listed up there too. Thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you for having us for, I guess, the show, and we'll see you all tomorrow with the map contest finals. 15 maps is going to be a lot of maps. God damn it. All right. So I guess we'll just find... Who should we host? We're live. We can actually send somebody to, like... We can actually go host people and raid people properly. Get some spam
going. Well, Snoot's streaming right now. Crank just started streaming. Plenty of Overwatch people to host.
I know. Everyone on my follow list is fucking playing Overwatch right now. I guess we can just go host up Snoot. We love Snoot. So, guys, when you go to Snoot's channel, be respectful, but give him a base trade if you got it. Ace 1, Ace 2 in chat and all that goodness. And thanks again for watching today. So, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.